Hello, and welcome to the Teacher Certification Institute at the Central Kentucky Educational Cooperative. This video will give you an overview of our continuing education option for rank change. Our program is a 2-year program built on our motto, Advocate, Innovate, Lead. The CKEC Rank Change program enacts meaningful change through true professional development. It incorporates modeling, practice, reflection, feedback, and coaching to sustain the learning and impact in your schools and classrooms. The program combines researched and evidence based content in varied modes of learning with targeted, personalized learning plans for each candidate. By advocating, innovating, and leading, we are teaching content and skills necessary for highly effective teaching and leading of teachers. We're also designing a system of support through mentoring that is responsive to our candidates' needs. Our program of Advocate, Innovate, Lead is really developed through continuous improvement cycles. Plan, do, study, act. This cycle of continuous improvement is really crucial for us as educators as we reflect on our craft, as we hone our skills as teachers and coaches. So, throughout the program, you're going to have multiple opportunities to engage in these cycles. The major cycle, the overall big picture cycle of our Plan, Do, Study, Act, kind of looks like this on the screen. You have your application and acceptance phase. During that phase, you're going to turn in your application and your candidate disposition ratings. You're going to watch this overview video, submit your declaration of your pathway, and also pay your fees. During your professional learning, you're going to engage in Core 7 modules, a content-focused community of practice, and some summer professional learning. You'll engage in the study aspect with your mentor coach through self-reflection and mini PDSA cycles, through a clinical classroom or coaching observation that also provides some feedback. You're going to submit your action through artifacts in your capstone project, through a learning management system, by creating a digital portfolio, and finally with the presentation of your capstone project. So, who is eligible for this program? All candidates must hold a current valid Kentucky teacher certification. Now, there are a few exceptions to this, a few ineligibilities. If you are an occupation based career and technical education teacher, you are not eligible for this program. If you are a teacher who has previously received a rank change through another continuing education option, you are also not eligible for this program. However, if you have received your national board certification as a rank change previously, you are eligible. So now let's look at the major components of our program. The first of these is what we call our Core 7 modules. Over the course of the 2 years, all candidates will engage in these same 7 core modules. They each consist of two 90-minute virtual sessions. You're going to focus on your pathway standards in each module and submit assignments and artifacts based on the content of the module and your content community of practice focus. The Core 7 modules will be led by an instructor who is well versed in a wide range of knowledge and skills as an educational professional, someone who has vast experience in teaching and leading others. They will support you through the Core 7, the core work of your program across the 2 years. Now, in conjunction with those Core 7 modules, you're also going to participate in a content community of practice. I'll talk a little bit more of those in just a minute. These will be one 90-minute live virtual session for each module. So for the Core 7 modules and the content community of practice, you will engage with both of those through live virtual sessions. There is no in-person component to those parts. During the summer, between your first and second year of the program, you're also going to complete 12 hours of professional learning. 6 hours of that will be connected to a Core 7 module, and 6 will be aligned to your community of practice focus. You'll work with your mentor coach to select the professional learning opportunities that best fit your needs as a growing professional. And then you'll complete some assignments based on your summer learning. Throughout the program, you're going to have a mentor coach that will be assigned to you and support you across those 2 years. You're going to meet with your mentor coach for 20 hours over the course of the program. Most of these meetings will be virtual. There may be some live in-person meetings as well. Your mentor coach will provide feedback and support to you as you engage in self-reflection, mini PDSA cycles, the clinical observation, your action research, and to help you develop your capstone project. So now let's look at some of those pathways that you can engage in for your community of practice. There are two major pathways that you might consider. The first is a teacher leader pathway. These are guided by the teacher leader model standards. This pathway is designed for teachers who really want to develop a more global perspective in an area of educational pedagogy. So you might be somebody who works across a school in various roles or across a district in various roles. You may also be a classroom teacher who wants to take a different look outside of just one content area to some other aspects of education and really do a deep dive into one of those. So that's one pathway. The other pathway is the teacher performance pathway, and this is guided by the Kentucky Teacher Performance Standards. Now, this pathway is really designed for teachers who want to develop your craftsmanship in the classroom setting with respect to a specific content area. So maybe you want to engage more deeply with mathematics or social studies or the content of science. This might be the pathway for you. So let's look more specifically at some of these communities of practice. Under the teacher leader pathway, these are the options that you might select from: educational technology and artificial intelligence, multi-tiered system of supports. We refer to that as MTSS. Instructional coaching, performance-based learning, cognitive and metacognitive strategies. Notice these topics of focus are really big picture. They span across multiple contents and really can support teachers in a variety of ways, regardless of what content you teach or the teachers with whom you work. So that's one pathway. The other pathway is the teacher performance pathway. So for those of you who really want to hone in on your craftsmanship, your knowledge, your skills of a particular content area, this might be the pathway for you. We'll offer mathematics, English language arts, early literacy. So this pathway is specifically for those of you who are participants in the third cohort of the Kentucky Reading Academy or letters training. That's the pathway. If you want to participate with letters as a part of your rank change, that's the pathway that you would sign up for. We also offer science, social studies, humanities, career and technical education, and special education options. Now, For those of you who are engaging in that Kentucky Reading Academy, your time in your letters sessions will substitute for your community of practice. So that's why you want to sign up for that early literacy pathway. You won't have extra sessions to attend. Your work with the asynchronous and synchronous sessions of letters will become your community of practice. Also, some of the mentor coaching for the letters candidates may take the form of group coaching sessions as well. Now, some of these communities of practice may not be offered. Some of them also may be combined. It just depends on numbers and how many sign up for them. Each one of these communities of practice will be led by an instructor who is highly qualified in that area, who can really provide you some in depth knowledge, help you along the way. They will be with you for all 2 years of that work to help you to develop your assignments and artifacts, to create your digital portfolio, and to help you work on your action research that's really connected to this pathway which you choose. Another aspect that the mentor coach will support you with is a clinical observation. So we use the word clinical here because it may or may not just be a classroom. If you're a classroom teacher, that's going to be your observation. However, you may not be a classroom teacher. You may be an instructional coach who works in different buildings or across one building. You may have some other roles within your district that you're serving so that your clinical work is not necessarily teaching in a class. It may be working more with adults. So your mentor coach is going to observe you in your setting, whatever setting that is. Maybe it's facilitating a PLC. You'll work with your coach to determine what that is. And you'll do this one time during the whole program. You can do this live, so where the coach will come in and observe that. It may be a video. The optimal way to do that would be a live session. So the mentor coach will provide you some feedback and coaching specific to the work that was observed. And the timing of this will be decided upon by you and your mentor coach. Again, trying to personalize the program. I've mentioned a couple times artifacts and assignments. Throughout the program, with each of those core 7 modules, you will be submitting some artifacts or assignments. And these may take various modes. Some may be written. There might be some video or audio recordings. There might be newsletters or other things that you create, social media posts, etc. The purpose of these really is to help you to translate your research in those core 7 modules and in your community of practice into your practice in your setting. They're going to help you to demonstrate your knowledge and your application. And as you think about what you're going to submit for those, it's going to be connected to your community of practice focus. The idea is that the assignments are authentic work to you that you're already doing as an educational professional. It's not busy work assignments or just extra things for you to do to get through a program. These are designed to be meaningful and connected to the work that you're already doing. For those of you that are in that Kentucky Reading Academy's early literacy community of practice, you're going to be able to substitute some of the artifacts and assignments for the work done in your letters training as well. Now, for our whole program, Google Classroom is going to be the learning management system that is used throughout. Another component of the program that you're going to work on across the 2 years is an action research project. You're going to engage in this work in various stages over the course of the 2 years, culminating with your capstone project. And this is really based on the work of Sager and Williams. 4 big areas that you're going to work on and develop: clarifying your vision and your targets, articulating your theory, implementing action and collecting data, and then reflecting on your data and planning for informed action. So, as you go through your 2 years, you're going to think about some of the issues and challenges that you might want to address specific to your community of practice. and engage in an action research project that will help you address some of those. The culmination of all of this work is your capstone project. This tells the story of your action research. It's going to be presented in front of a panel of at least 3 educational professionals. So you'll have a presentation that you'll have to share some slides with, some visual representations to tell your story. You'll also create a one-pager of that story and submit. And you'll share your digital portfolio that you've been developing throughout the 2 years of your project. All candidates, regardless of pathway, regardless of which community of practice you're engaged in, will work on an action research project and present a capstone project. The cost of the program is $5,000 per participant. Before each semester, you will pay $1,250. You will also need to purchase a copy of the anchor text for the program before the first session starts. The anchor text is Marzano's Handbook for the New Art and Science of Teaching, and you can find that in various places on the web. There will be an additional cost for mentor coaching hours that go beyond the 20. So if for some reason you need to have extended coaching, there will be a fee for that beyond the 20 hours. Here's the process for application. At the website that's on the screen, bit.ly/CKECTCI, notice the back half is case sensitive. You can get the application. You can get the candidate disposition forms. Those are really 3 references that you will send to 3 people to have them fill out on your behalf. You will also submit your declaration of pathway, and you'll be asked to select your top 3 choices in that order: your first choice, second choice, and third choice. Remember, some of the pathways may not be offered, or some may need to be combined based on numbers. So we want to see what your first, second, and third choices are in case if we need to do that. You will also find the candidate agreement, which you will need to print off, initial, sign, and date, and then send back to us. All of that can be found on our website there on your screen. As you consider being a participant and engaging with CKEC in this work of furthering your professional career through a rank change, there are a couple ways that you can contact us if you have questions. You can send email questions to Mark Helton, that's me, at tci@ckec.org, or also visit the website for a lot more information about the program. We really hope that you will consider joining us in our Teacher Certification Institute and pursue your rank change through this continuing education option program.